In our last video, we saw how to connect to SQLITE database through Python on your mobile phone. Today, we'll be looking at how to query the SQLITE database through Python on your mobile phone. So first and foremost, for us to query our database, it would be nice for us to be able to view our database file on our mobile phone and see what's in it. Then we can know how to go about the query. So to do that, you have to download the SQLITE database editor from Google Play Store. So this SQLITE database editor is what you use to view your database file. So once you can also use it to input your database, your data. You understand? It's a database app where you can edit your database file. You can create a new database, you can create table in it. So it's a wonderful app. So download it. So once you download it, then you can view your database file. After downloading the SQLITE database viewer, once you open it, your file explorer will open. That is where your folders are, your files are. So for me, all my database files are in my Python scripts folder. Then I go to the SQL folder. Now my database is in my SQL folder. This is it here, music.db. Now we are going to query the customers table. So let's open the customer table and see how it is, so that when I write the code to query it, you will know we're doing the right thing. So you can see it has 59 records. We have first name, last name, country, and so on. So the query I want to write now is to select all the customers that are from the United States of America, and we can see them, they are all here. So that's what the query is going to do. So now let's go to our code, our IDLE environment, where we'll write our code that will query this database. So now we are in our Python environment. So first and foremost, we import the SQLITE3. We connect to the database. This is the comment that is telling us we're connecting to the database. So this is the function that connects to the database. It connects to the SQLITE3 database, and we save it in this variable. So once the connection is successful, it prints this that connected to SQLITE. Then we query the database. So I decided to have this variable, and I put the query in this variable. So to query an SQL database, you say select. So I'm selecting, this asterisk means all, from customers table where country is equal to USA. You should know you should always end your SQL statement with a semicolon. Now, because we are doing this query through a Python environment, you must always enclose your query in triple quotes. Always enclose it in triple quotes. So the database is music.db, and we've connected to it. Now we are querying it for customers from the United States of America. So we create a cursor connection. This cursor connection is one that activates it, that goes in and extracts what we want. So we call the cursor function on the variable SQLITE connection, the connection variable, and we save it in the variable called cursor. So now that variable that connects to the database and brings out what we want, we call the execute function on it. So this execute function now executes the SQL query. This is the SQL query which is passed into this function. So this execute function executes the SQL query on this cursor variable which does the connection. So once the query is done, we'll print list of USA customers. It will be displayed. Then we'll now use the fetch all function to display the queried data. So we call the fetch all function on the cursor function to display the data. So we use the print statement for us to see it. So it fetches all, brings out everything, and prints it out. So and you should always know once you run your SQL connection and you are through with it, you always close your connection. So we call the close function on the SQL connection to close down. Once everything is done, it prints this. So let's run our code and see our result. So we can see this is the result here, but now you can't see everything clearly, you understand, although it's correct, but because you can't see everything clearly because we are using a mobile phone, that is why I decided to put everything in table format. So that is where this function comes in. Pandas puts your information in table format. So I've removed this from comments. Then I'm going to open this and open this too. So let me comment out this. So now, since I'm putting my results in table format, so this is what I did. So that fetch all function, the cursor, I said the result you are going to get, all those data you are bringing out from the database, put it in a data frame, which is in a table format. So as I put it in a table format, I saved it in this variable df. So I'm going to print out this table now, df. So I'm printing out df. But if I print out df, I want the number of columns are so many, I might not be able to see everything I want. So I had to specify that I should print all the rows and stop at column 7. So that is what this line of code did. So let's run it. So we can see our table is our table has display. So first line says connected to SQLite, then the next line says list of USA customer. So you can see USA is all displaying, and we can see it's 8 columns that were displayed. The default database has more than 8 columns, so we can see everything is well queried and our result is accurate.